playing defense here with the Jace is a little awkward, especially against a Kessig Wolf run. He's going to mill himself. Play a land and pass.
Yep. Is there a Wolf run down there among his lands?
Yep, it's on the far right. Or bottom of the screen, I guess that's what I should say.
Good eye. Good eye. He's hiding that one pretty well for me.
Probably trained, you know, nothing like sliding one of the lands out from here. Oh, this one? It's been here the whole time.
Yeah. Activate and kill you with it.
Well, Philip can't let that Jace just sit around. But I'm not sure what else he can... Is that on the wrong number of counters? Am I missing something?
It ticked up.
Doesn't it start on 4, or am I crazy?
We can confirm craziness level for you. I would be glad to call you crazy.
I feel like I've seen a Jace on 4 loyalty, which would seem to imply it starts on it. Yeah. Well, we've got a bigger die. We can.
It's a bigger 6.
Confirm 6.
It's a bigger 6 for you.
Ah, 5. Okay.
How's it feel?
Bam.
You still got it.
Still got it.
We gotta let you in here more often. So it looks like Philip is figuring out what he wants to do on his turn. Jace is going to provide a different angle of attack here for Devyn. He can draw some cards. He can decide to start milling Philip, what have you. He can do what we saw a little bit earlier in the day, which is milling himself. We had a player earlier, I think it was last round actually, Glenn, mill himself to make Harvest Pyre large enough to ding his Boros Reckoner and kill the opponent from 20. So you can get a little creative out there with the Jace Memory Adept nowadays.
I think that's the general idea with the card, to be honest. Although, you know, it can be awkward if you mill it, because then you have to find a Snapcaster Mage too.
Yeah. So now we're going to see Boros Reckoner jump in front here. Restoration Angel is going to jump in front of this Beast token.
I like these blocks.
And so now we're going to have a Wolf Run activation on this here Beast token, and we'll see if Devyn has anything to make this go bad.
I mean, honestly, just this isn't very good, so how much worse can it get? If Devyn does have any realistic spell here, it's going to be pretty rough.
Now Devyn is at 7. And this Wolf Run activation is for 7, but because Restoration Angel has 1 toughness...
Well, we're going to get first strike and just let it happen. That seems fine. Beast token reappears as quickly as it left.
Yep.
We should untap that one, though.
We should. There we go. And
well, that one's
died, not alive anymore.
Right?
There we go, yeah. Down you go.
All right, let's keep it clean, boys. Let's keep it clean. We have 1 card in our hands. Glacial Fortress, it's true, a Geist. This Jace is looking pretty good.
Thought Scour. Negate goes away.
Interesting.
Thought Scour in the main phase.
I think that's the correct timing.
Hit 1, Boros Reckoner. Hit 2, Boros Reckoner. Draw a card. It is Azorius Charm.
That's game.
That's a good one to draw.
I would go so far as to say that this game is now over. I don't know what Philip could do.
Wow, you're that guy?
Oh, wait, he attacked him. Oh, he's at 1.
Yes!
No, he's still over. Whatever.
Okay.
He's got to draw a burn spell. That's all he's got. He's got 2 Rakdos' returns, no Bonfire of the Damned. Those are his only outs.
Geist Saint Trap and pass the turn back.
I might have considered just bashing with everybody and Azorius Charming for life.
Phil draws a card.
Really
Rootbound Crag. In we go. Gonna put you here. Gonna double block you here. Gonna entice. Yeah, gonna entice a large Wolf Run activation.
We're clever. We're clever with our enticements. Well, Philip's now at 9 and the game is over.
He's going to organize his blockers here. This is one of the slower Azorius Charms I've ever seen. Get that guy out of here. Yeah, that one. I want that Wolf token gone. Yeah, and
yep, that's
Devyn shows that, yeah, the Boros Reckoner is going to die. You're going to take 3 and I'm going to finish you off with my guys. So Devyn March is going to win game 2, and we're going to be moving to a 3rd game. But Glenn, something you see there in the middle underneath the 1v1. Oh, 6 minutes?
6 minutes. That's not very much.
That's not very much at all. This matchup takes a little while, too. The Jund versus Blue Red Flash matchup is not very short at all. Now, taking a look here at Devyn March and his Blue Red Flash sideboard, things that he can bring in here. He's got a copy of Negate, which we know that's in. He's got 3 copies of Geist Saint Trap that we know are in. 2 copies of Dispel, 2 copies of Supreme Verdict, 3 copies of Trickery, and then 2 copies of Jace Memory Adept, which we know that he's brought in. Not sure what he's moved out of his deck thus far. Maybe those Izzet Charm Spot bit the dust. Maybe those Mizium Mortars bit the dust. You know, not incredibly sure on what moved in and out here, but we do know that Geist, Negate, and Jace Memory Adapt are the cards he feels are important here.
Yeah, the Jaces are interesting. If you bring in Jace against Jund, you have to be aware that Rakdos' return is suddenly like an even deadlier enemy than it was before. It was already pretty deadly.
Sure.
So that's one of the reasons you have to do stuff like bring in the Negates. You just have to respect that powerful card and be able to stop it. On Philip's side, he has access to 2 Duress, 2 Underworld Connections, 2 Slaughter Games. I imagine all of those came in. The Garruk Primal Hunter, he's got a 3rd one. That almost certainly came in. He may or may not have brought in Acidic Slimes. I don't think I would have, but it's an option.
Just slime. I mean, it doesn't really have a lot of targets, but just to blow up a land, maybe, or
yeah, like it's reasonable against Boros Reckoner as well. It, you know, stops that guy from getting too crazy, I think, but not ideal. I mean, he still can first strike you, so I don't know. I'm not a big fan. If you suspect Pike, it might be a thing, but I think most people have cut Pike at this point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people move past that.
I think at the PT, the Team SCG members that were on Blue, White, Red had Pike and Pyre, but most people, now that they have Pyre, just got rid of Pike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would not be bringing in Acidic Slimes. I can't really think of many effective uses for it.
It's expensive land destruction spell.
It is.
That's what it is.
You can turn it into a sweet fireball with Kessel Front, I guess. That's like the best thing I can say about it.
Sure. So I know this is a matchup, as we do see both players keep their opening hands, and we are underway here with about 7 minutes left on the clock. Steam Vent's going to come and play on tap, which is representing one heck of a Thought Scour. It's a really close matchup, I think. It's very, very back and forth. A lot of important cards on both sides of the matchup, and you know, depending on if there's underworld connections involved, both players can actually get through their deck and find the cards that they need to win.
I see a Dreadbore, a Garruk, and a Rakdos is returning to Philip's hand, and a Victim of Night. So he's not going to die on turn 4 or whatever, but he's also got enough action to keep going. Thragtusk is a strong card as well. I really like Philip's hand for a long game, but they may not get to play one.
Think twice here from Devyn on Philip's end step. He's going to draw a card, untap, he's going to draw another card. He planes into Thought Scour. We'll see if he has a Geist of Saint Traft. He doesn't have that or Boros Reckoner, so he's going to pass back.
That's what he really wanted this turn, but that is not what he found.
We'll see a Duress here from Philip.
Yeah, sure.
Spread those out. We see 2 copies of Snapcaster Mage, an Izzet Charm, a Plains, a Jace Memory Adept, a Thought Scour, and a Searing Spear. Those are the 7 cards in his hand.
This is actually a pretty strong hand for Devyn. He can defend very effectively against Rakdos' return, regardless of what Philip takes with the Duress, which is Duress' primary job, I think, in the matchup, is to force the Rakdos' return. It's one of the best things you can do with it. So, knowing that, Philip should probably take the Jace.
It's probably the biggest threat at this point.
Yeah, otherwise he's just going to let Devyn, ramp up. He can play the Jace in such a way that it won't die to a Rakdos' return, which will defeat the entire purpose of casting the spell. Or he can just wait until he has enough mana to defend the Jace as well as cast it.
So he decides to take, and he decides to take Thought Scour. I don't really love that, personally, because now he's going to cast Snapcaster Mage, he's going to Thought Scour himself, and he's trying to basically... I don't really know what that accomplishes by taking that card.
That was peculiar. Maybe he's just hoping to get Devyn cantripping those Snapcasters? I don't know.
We're going to see a Victim of Night take care of Snapcaster Mage.
I think that's the correct way to spend that spell in this instance. With another Thought Scour in the bin, you already know your opponent could just Restoration Angel it at some point, so...
We see Philip misses land the last turn, but this turn he does draw one. He draws a Dragon Skull Summit.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he has a play, and he doesn't. He's just very removal heavy.
Land Jace, easy game.
And now we're going to see a Jace come into play here from Devyn. And Jace is going to tick up. And he's going to...
Philip has a Dreadful. That's why I didn't take the Jace.
Sure.
To be honest, I still would probably take the Jace.
I think I would still take the Jace too.
Yeah, he's going to get a card, which is, what you denied him with the Thought Scour anyway, except this taps him out, so... I don't know.
Now you're going to see a mill 10 here, and it's turned over quite a few green sources of mana, which is important because Philip does have a Garruk Primal Hunter in his hand.
It's interesting.
He does draw a Huntmaster of the Fells, and Swamp is going to come in.
It's interesting, the mill 10 on the opponent versus yourself here, because there are good arguments for both. If you hit a Harvest Pyre and manage to draw yourself into a Reckoner, you can just kill the opponent pretty quickly, which, we're under time concerns, so that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But also, if you just, mill 10 4 times in a row, you can kill the opponent.
Yeah.
Quickly.
You can also mill yourself for 10 and get some options with Snapcaster Mage as well.
Yeah. I think I probably would have milled 10 if it were me, but I don't fault Devyn.
So now we see 4 mana being tapped, and we're going to see a Huntmaster of the Fells here from Philip.
No, that's not going to do much against the Snapcaster and Burn spells that we already know are there.
I mean, he already knows that there's an Izzet Charm there, as you see Devyn draw a Geist of St. Trav.
Oh.
So, I mean, the sequencing here is a little bit questionable for what Philip is trying to accomplish. You can tell that both players are playing pretty quickly here.
Yeah, that's definitely going to affect your play. I've been in that situation before, and it's tough.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get everything onto the board as quickly as possible. Like just now, we saw Devyn, this is a sub-optimal way to tap his lands. He was just trying to play a spell immediately.
Yeah.
I agree with playing Geist here. You just want to jam it. You've got enough defense to keep the Jace alive. I probably would have drawn a card with it, though. Just not really a reason not to. I think the 10 is probably not your best way to victory anymore, unless you're 10ing yourself.
Now we're going to see a Dreadbore on that Jace Memory Adept.
Yeah.
Devyn staring at his Izzet Charm, realizing it's not going to do anything in this circumstance. Here comes a Wolf token. Huntmaster's going to stay back on defense. And Devyn's going to take the 2. On the end of turn here.
It's interesting. I would have attacked with the Huntmaster.
I think I would have as well. You're going to see Izzet Charm there. And they're playing so fast that he used the Plains to cast the Izzet Charm instead of a Hollow Fountain.
Yeah.
A minor mistake there, but you're going to see 6 damage come across. No harm, no foul.
We've drawn another Izzet Charm. We still have a Think Twice in our graveyard as well.
Yes.
I might have just flashbacked the Think Twice during the end step there, untapped and charmed then. I think that's a more efficient use of our mana.
You know, one thing that goes along with playing very quickly is you have to be comfortable playing this quickly.
Yeah.
You know, when you get yourself in this situation, playing quickly and finishing the match is one thing, but if it comes to the detriment of you playing very poorly and end up losing the match in 6 minutes, is it even worth it then? I think the answer is no, as we see a Thragtusk here from Philip.
At a recent Modern PTQ, I played Waffle Toppa's Blue-White Red deck, which if anyone's played it, it's very grindy and long, but I'd played so many games with it beforehand, including on my stream. I was actually playing really fast matches with the deck, which, you know, that's the benefit of experience. I like to practice a lot when I know I'm going to be playing a slow deck, because when you get in a situation like this, that practice pays off immediately.
So do you see Think Twice here? Devyn's going to untap.
You see he drew a Restoration Angel. If he thought twice on the previous turn, you know, he'd have access to 4 mana this turn after Izzet Charming the Huntmaster. These tiny margins cascade very quickly.
Now we'll see an attack here with the Geist. He's going to Restoration Angel with the Geist. 4 damage is going to come across from the Angel. It's going to knock Philip down to 17. He's just going to pass the turn back, leaving himself wide open to a lot of different things here as Philip does draw a card. Tick, 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 tick. Other drops card.
Well, we just drew Slaughter Games, which pretty reasonable card, but I'd be tempted to just go for it with the Rakdos return. We already saw the Izzet Charm's gone. Did he really draw another one? That doesn't seem very likely.
Yeah, these decks only play one Izzet Charm. He couldn't have a second one. He can't Snapcaster one back.
Yep, I agree with Philip going for it, but he's going to be punished. Izzet Charm.
Izzet Charm takes care of it. Basically like a makeshift Time Walk here. Devyn going to untap. He's going to draw. He's coming in again. Angel Token coming in. Thragtusk's going to get in front of the Geist, but we already know that Restoration Angel is going to come down. No Restoration Angel. It means he has another Geist St. Trav.
It's interesting. He could have gone Charm Spear there, but he didn't. That's about the only interesting thing there. But, you know, his opponent is at 10. Oh, he has another Geist. Okay. That's fine then as well. Whoa, we're excited.
Playing so fast, he can't keep the cards in his hand.
Yeah, this game's going poorly for Philip now. He's facing, you know, if he can't attack her, he'll just be facing straight up lethal without another blocker.
So now we are in time. It is turn 0. We see an Underworld Connections here from Philip, and this is about the worst time to cast this card.
That's the white flag if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, when you are under this amount of pressure, paying life to draw cards is not ideal.
That puts us dead on board. We have Angel plus Searing Spear still, right?
Yeah, Searing Spear is there, as is the Snapcaster Mage.
So yeah, we're super dead now. I guess that is, you know, he kind of has to play it. I'm not sure what card he could have drawn that would actually dig him out though at this stage.
Yeah.
Bonfire of the Damned was certainly not one of them.
Both players can certainly slow down a little bit now. As you do see Devyn just pass the, or excuse me, Philip pass the turn back.
Dynamite.
You see a Searing Spear here from Devyn, putting Philip down to 6. He untaps, he draws, he's still playing as fast as ever, even though they're in time, and Philip is going to concede the game. Devyn March wins 2-1 in turns with Blue Red Flash over Philip Manabat and his Jund deck.